You can present information on your web pages using something called an accordion. I'll show you an example of one just here. This is a frequently asked questions section I've got on this page. A typical use of an accordion is to lay out all your questions and then put the detail underneath for those particular questions. It's great for processors, product features and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this page and have a look at this in the web builder. So I'm just going to scroll down to that frequently asked question section. Here it is, and I'm going to recreate the same section in the same page, and then you'll be able to see them side by side and see exactly how it's done. So I'm going to click just here and add a new section beneath, and I'm going to build this in the section underneath so you can see them side by side. So I'm going to go ahead and drag in first of all a box, and this is going to cover this bit at the top, the frequently asked questions section just here. Now first of all I'm going to leave the background just for now and drag in first of all some text, and I believe that will be a header 2 font just here, and that, as you can see, is in my blue color. Now I've already got my colors set up. I've covered those in a different tutorial, so if you want to know how you can set your different colors up on your site, there's tutorials that cover that. So that says frequently asked questions, so I just need to add that in there, and I need to make that just big enough there and a little bit of an adjustment like that. So we've got frequently asked questions, and then there's just a simple bit of text underneath. So I'm going to drag in this time just a normal bit of text just there, and I'm going to expand that a bit. I think, if I remember right from my design, it's going to be font size 18, but again you can set your variables up in your site if there's sizes that you commonly use. So I just need to update the text on here, and that's almost complete. So just multi-selected there. So the text we need is some of the questions. There we go. So I'm just going to change that background now to white. We'll just type in the white hex code there. And there you go. So that is this little section here, and now it's onto the accordion, which I'm going to bring in just underneath. So we go into elements, we go into accordion. There's different accordions types here, different styles and layouts. The one I'm going to use is this FAC accordion, and I'm just going to drag that in there. Now you can see straight away that there's some differences. Obviously the content is different. I'm going to need to fill that in, but also the look and feel of it is quite different as well. This one's in a brand blue with a green border around it, some icons, and this one's very plain. So let's have a look at how we can begin changing all of this in the settings panel. So we right click or click on the pencil icon to bring up this side panel here, and we're first of all going to work on the items. So you can see this one had just 4, and this accordion here has got 6 on. So all of the accordion items are just here. I actually only need 4 of those, so I'm just going to delete a couple there. Now notice as well, you've also got the copy icon next to delete as well. I'll just highlight that for you here. So you can see the delete icon to get rid of an item, and the copy icon duplicates the item as well. So you can add and remove them as you want to. So there are the 4 that I'm going to use in this section. I can now update the content. So you can see there's a label, which is the question itself here, and then you've got the question that appears just underneath. So I'm very quickly going to fill those in, and at this point what I would say to you is it's well worth, before you actually get into the builder, to actually plan out your content. So what I've got just on a separate screen is all of this content all mapped out for me, ready to go, and it saves me a lot of time when it comes to the design of my page, because it's not just the words that you can actually see, it's all of the thinking that goes into these words. So if you're planning to do these web pages, it's well worth getting your content in order first, and then this bit of the process becomes a different task altogether. So I'm just filling in very quickly a couple of these. I'm not going to go through them all, just as a bit of an example for you, so you get the feeling of how I can change things. And if I wanted to format these questions using these icons here, I can do, but you can see I've just pretty much covered all of those. I'm just going to change this last one here, using the text I've got on the other screen. And yes, that is how you can update all of those different items, the content of it. So let's have a look at the settings panel and have a look at see what's next. So next underneath there, we've got the accordion icon. Now I'll show you what this is. So notice on this one here, in fact, let me just show you this page again, so that you can see it just here. So if we go back to the frequently asked questions here, you've got this little icon that's next to each of the questions, and in this case it's a question mark icon. And notice that when I expand these, it is still a question mark icon, but notice how the style has changed to a different icon altogether. So let's have a look at how we can go about doing those sorts of things as well. So here I am back in the builder for this page. Sorry, let me go back to the one I was just working on just here, and I'm going to go into the settings now and go into the icon, and this is where actually I can set the icon up. So there's two icons, one for when the item is open and one for when the item is closed. So they were both actually a question icon, and there was one version of the question icon for when items were open, and then there was a different icon for when items were closed. So I'm just going to set those up just here. Now notice as well, the icon has appeared just on the right hand side there, and actually I wanted it on the left. I also want it a little bit bigger as well, so I'm just going to go ahead and make that larger. I'm also going to set the position to left, you can see just here, but now we've got a bit of an issue in that it's overlapping the text, so I just need to increase this setting here, which is the icon title gap, and it's this one just here. So I'm just going to increase that size a little bit, and notice how now we've got more space in between the item and the question just here. So I'm going to come back to this actually, because I will need to change the icon to white. In fact, I am going to do that now. I'm going to change the icon to white and it will disappear. In fact, I'll make it grey, and then you can see it just faded out. That's obviously going to stand out a lot more when I've changed the colour scheme of this. So let's carry on moving down then. Accordion settings and style. So I can actually have a default active tab. So I can have actually one of these selected if I want to. And actually, I know it's not in the example here, but I am going to use it just here. And I'm going to say that number one is the default active tab. Next up, I need to set a bit of a border around this. So I'm just going to increase that border, and the border color was actually green, so I'm going to change that using my variable settings, and then I'm going to carry on moving down. Now the radius looks like it's already about where it needs to be. It's 8 points just here, but notice if I wanted to, I could change that radius setting and make it look how I wanted it to be, but we'll keep it on 8 just like the example. Now padding is really important, so if you want to add a bit of padding to the questions themselves, notice how I've increased the padding just there, and that has changed the amount of space that is around each of the questions, so you can give them a bit more breathing room if you want to. And next down we're on to the colour. So the colour of the original one, well, the background of it was the dark blue, so just here you can see how that now looks. Now I'm going to carry on down, and next we're into heading style. Quite timely because I need to make that a lighter colour. So I'm going to go into the colour for the font itself and change the colour to this grey so that that stands out a lot more. And then finally in the content style at the bottom, I can do the same as well for the content type as well. And you can see I can change. I'm going to actually increase the font size for the content as well a little bit as well. So let's publish those changes. We'll preview and see what that looks like now, and you can see the original which is this top one here, and you can also see the one underneath it which is very similar. Now I've just made a little bit of an error here. You can see the background of the text there. I actually quite like it. I prefer that version of it, but that's just something I need to tweak there to make it look like that. So let's have a look at how simple and easy it is to do that. I'm just going to find that page again. It's this one here. And I know exactly what I have done. I just need to change the content styles just down here. So actually the background type does need to be a colour, but it needs to be that dark blue colour. And then it's actually the colour of the text that I needed to make, just like that. So now if we have a look at that page, you should see how quick it was to build that up and make it look very much like the original did. So you can do lots of things with the accordion elements within your pages. Like I say, great for frequently asked questions, features, just general guidance on a process, that sort of thing. Hope you found that useful. I'll see you on the next one.